In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the mass airflow sensor in your 1998 to 2002 Pontiac Firebird with the 3.8 litre V6. Now, full disclaimer, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not an expert, I'm just an idiot that happens to have access to tools. So please bear that in mind. If you're not entirely confident in your ability to perform this task, then please find a mechanic that can help you. With all that being said, I'm Stuart McLachlan, but you can call me that guy in the Firebird. Let's get to it. The mass airflow sensor, or MAF for short, is located just here, right above the air intake manifold. Its job is to tell the car's computer how much air is passing through the intake. It measures this in grams per second and makes adjustments as required to the air-fuel mixture. And it's done using a hot wire. Inside the sensor is a copper element which has an electrical current passed through it. Because of resistance, this then causes that element to warm up to just above ambient air temperature. Now, as the air passes through the system, it cools this element, and the vehicle knows how much air is coming in based on how much voltage is required to maintain a constant temperature of the element. As I say, I'm not an expert, but that's my rudimentary understanding of how it works. Now, before you get your tools out and replace the sensor, let's talk about why you might need to do so in the first place. Symptoms to look out for include difficulty starting, rough idling, unusual sounds and vibrations from the engine, reduced fuel economy, and even black smoke. But before we write the sensor off, let's check another couple of things first. Let's begin by checking the fuse associated with the MAF system. Fuse box is located just behind the driver's headlight. On my car, somebody's actually made a carbon fibre cover, and it is real carbon fibre, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, I digress. It's a 20 amp fuse, yellow one, located just here. Let's pull that out. Okay. As you can see, the filament is intact, so I would say that's good. So let's pop it back in. And replace the cover. You may have noticed a check engine light appear on your dashboard display, or in the case of cars like this, it's called the service engine soon light. This can indicate all sorts of things, and the only way to know for sure is to use a diagnostic tool. You can go to a professional to have this done. Some may charge you, some may not. But there is another option for the average DIY mechanic. You can use something such as this. This is a rather inexpensive device I picked up on eBay. It's a diagnostic code reader which plugs into the OBD2 port under the dashboard, and using an app on my phone I can then access real-time telemetry from the vehicle. I can see any error codes which have come up and I can clear them as necessary. It was important to choose a device which works with the older protocols that GM was using at the time. Specifically VPW, variable pulse width. I've no idea what that means, but I know that this device can recognize it. I've just done a scan and we do indeed have an error code, P0102, which suggests a problem with the mass airflow sensor. Now at this point you could just remove the sensor and give it a clean, put it back on and see if that works. I'm not going to do that because to do that properly you really need compressed air and contact cleaner, neither of which I have access to at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the sensor. It's not a particularly expensive part, so it shouldn't break the bank. Fortunately, this is a nice easy job and it's very accessible. We begin by removing the two retaining screws on top of the sensor. They're Phillips screws, but I have heard of situations where people have Torx screws. So whatever it is, use the right bit and remove. Nice and simple. Keep the screws safe, you will need them again. And now we can remove the sensor. Just pops off like so. There it is. And undo the electrical connector like so. Before you fit the new sensor, make sure that the mating surface is clean, doesn't have anything that might contaminate the intake. Here's our new sensor and the old one. Now it's simply a case of reversing the procedure. Connect the wiring harness. It will only go on one way. Make sure it clips into position and then carefully slide the sensor back into the opening and replace the retaining screws. You don't have to do these up really tight, just make sure they're secure. We don't want to break the plastic. And that's it, the sensor's fitted. To give our sensor the best possible start in life, let's also replace the air filter, another simple job. No tools required. Undo the clips on the front, open it up, remove the old air filter. Well, you can see it's been doing its job. It's not in terrible condition, but could definitely do with replacing. It's also a good idea to remove any loose debris from the retaining box. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the old and new filter. So same as what we did before, but in reverse. Put the new filter in. Make sure it's located correctly. If I don't do this, then I'm not going to get a good seal around the edges. Now before you close the lid, you need to ensure that these tabs line up with these openings. If you don't, then it won't close securely. It won't line up and these clips won't go down. That's it. Job done. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped you out. Please feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel. When I'm not tinkering with this car, I'm often at a car show pointing at shiny things. So if you like that sort of thing, please do check it out. Well, I'm Stuart McLachlan, and as always, you can call me that guy in the Firebird. And I will see you in a future video.